what would you say are the most common sort of issues that you see, and the fixes that you generally tend to carry out?
Yeah, most definitely. I'd say in 16 years of a washing machine, the most common hands down among top load and front load washers is going to be not draining. One of the main reasons that that's an issue is because every single time your washer's spinning, whether it's a top load or a front load, the drain pump is on. It may shut off for a minute or two, but it is on. If your washer's spinning, it's on. So you've got this little motor that's running so many hours a week that it's definitely has the most wear and tear. So yeah, definitely that is the most common failure in a washer.
The drainage issues. Is that one of the more complex to diagnose, do you find?
That's actually one of the easiest to diagnose. Typically, when a washer isn't draining and it is due to a defective drain pump, I would say at least 75% of the time, when you activate like a drain and spin cycle, you can actually hear the motor humming. And sometimes it's really low, but if you kind of put your ear to the metal of the washer, you'll hear just a slight hum because it's seized up, it's getting power, but it's not actually moving any water. And if you hear that hum, it's 1000% it's your drain pump because
Right.
that hum means it's getting power, it's just not doing what it's supposed to do. So that's actually a really easy diagnosis.
Gotcha, right. And if there is an issue, are you generally just going in and is it clogged usually, or just a pump replacement needed?
Yeah, usually, I mean, yeah, a pump replacement. The difference between front loads and top loads is most front loads have the removable filter, and so it is possible that it's completely clogged. Top loads, they don't have a removable filter. Sometimes you can have it where like a sock or something will get in where that drain pump hooks to the tub. So it may be as simple as removing the drain pump, seeing if anything's obstructing it, and then putting it back on may fix it. But yeah, and there's as far as accessing it to check it for the front loads, they're generally pretty easy to actually kind of put hands on the drain pump, because if you pull the unit out maybe 2 or 3 feet from the wall, lean it back, and it'll kind of rest against the wall, almost like when you're carrying something with a dolly. There's that point of balance where you don't really feel the weight. So when you lean the washer, you can actually look under there, look at the drain pump. You could even feel it. They get super hot sometimes when they're trying to run and they're just humming. And then as far as checking it, kind of a little hack for a front load is you can lean it back and you can take off the drain pump. They're typically attached with maybe 3 bolts. They're really simple, really straightforward, but you're going to have a lot of the water come out. If you're able to drain the water you can see from inside the washing machine, and instead of leaning it back, you flip it around and lean it forward, where that drain pump connects on the tub, it's in the back. So if you lean the washer forward against the wall, all that water's forward, so you can typically take the pump off with just very minimal water coming out. And then at that point, just inspect it. Average cost of a drain pump, top load or front load, varies anywhere from $20 to $80, somewhere in that range.
Hmm.
So it's really doable. Front loads are a little more complicated. The older front loads, there was a kind of an access panel on the bottom. So you look at the front load, you would see, the door and everything, and then you would see a line, and then you would see a panel about maybe this wide. Those were great because they had 2 to 4 screws. The panel would come off the drain pumps literally right there. Super
Hmm.
easy.
Yeah.
Because of the sleek new design of all these washers, to access that same pump in the same location, you've got to remove the top, the control panel, unhook the door boot, remove a bunch of screws, take off the entire front panel, and then you can see the pump, but it's typically behind some stuff, and it's kind of a pain. Those I would definitely recommend watching a YouTube video and seeing if it's something you want to get into first,
Yeah.
and then go from there for sure.
That could be considering a pro kind of situation.